Hi there, welcome back to Healthy Habits Her. I'm a registered dietitian, and today we're diving into something a lot of you have been asking about, the keto diet. Now, keto is everywhere these days, but if you're new to it, it can feel a little overwhelming. You might be asking yourself, what is keto exactly? Can I eat the foods I love? Is it safe for me? Don't worry. Today, I'm going to break it all down for you in a friendly, step-by-step way. We'll cover what keto is, what you can and cannot eat, some easy meal ideas, the benefits, the risks, and how women can safely get started. By the end of this video, you'll have all the information you need to decide if keto is right for you, and how to make it work without feeling stressed or confused. What is the keto diet? So let's start with the basics. Keto, short for ketogenic diet, is a high-fat, moderate protein, very low-carb diet. Here's what that means in simple terms. About 70% of your calories come from fat, around 20% from protein, and only 10% or less from carbs. That ratio is what allows your body to enter a state called ketosis. Normally, our bodies run on carbs. We eat them, they break down into glucose, and that glucose is what powers our energy. But when you drastically reduce carbs, your body switches gears and starts burning fat for energy. This is why people often see weight loss, better energy levels, and more stable moods when they do keto correctly. And here's a fun fact. Your body has a small store of carbs in your muscles, but once that's used, fat becomes your main fuel source. That's why getting into ketosis is so powerful. It basically teaches your body to tap into stored fat efficiently. What can you eat on keto? Alright, let's talk about food. Keto might seem restrictive at first, but there are actually so many delicious options. For protein, think chicken, turkey, pork, and beef. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are amazing because they give you omega-3s, which are great for your heart and brain. Eggs are versatile, quick, and perfect for any meal. Vegetables are your best friend, but focus on low-carb options like spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, and bell peppers. Even onions and tomatoes can fit if you keep track of carbs. For fruit, berries are the best choice. Strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries are lower in carbs than tropical fruits like mango, pineapple, or bananas. And fats. This is where keto really shines. Avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee, butter, these are all excellent. Nuts and seeds, like almonds, walnuts, chia, and flax, are also great options for snacks or to add texture to meals. Now, the foods to avoid include things like rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, cakes, cookies, and candy. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and deli meats can sneak in sugar and additives, so we want to limit those. But remember, keto isn't about strict deprivation, it's about choosing nutrient-dense, whole foods that fit the plan. Meal ideas and planning. Let's make this practical. Here's what a day on keto might look like. For breakfast, you could make a cheesy omelette with asparagus or bell peppers, and maybe some avocado on the side. Egg muffins with spinach and cheese are also fantastic, and they're perfect if you want to meal prep for the week. Lunch could be a chicken or shrimp salad made with full-fat Greek yogurt or mayonnaise, served on a bed of greens with a drizzle of olive oil. You could also do a stir-fry with low-carb vegetables and a protein of your choice. Dinner ideas include zucchini noodles with a creamy avocado sauce and grilled salmon, or cauliflower rice stir-fried with chicken and veggies. Roasted vegetables with a fatty protein sauce also make a satisfying meal. Snacks can be simple but effective. A handful of nuts or seeds, berries with full-fat Greek yogurt, or some cheese cubes with raw vegetables work well. The key is keeping fat high and carbs low while still enjoying your food. And here's a tip: get creative. Zoodles, cauliflower rice, egg muffins, and even keto-friendly desserts can make your meals exciting and prevent boredom. Benefits of keto. Why try keto? Well, first, it can really help with weight loss. High-fat foods are filling, which naturally reduces your calorie intake without you even thinking about it. That means smaller portion sizes, less snacking on chips or popcorn, and fewer sugar spikes throughout the day. Keto also helps with stable energy levels. Without those blood sugar highs and crashes, many people feel more focused and less moody. Beyond weight and energy, keto has been studied for its effects on neurological health. Some research shows it might help people with conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or multiple sclerosis, but this research is still early. Finally, keto can be simpler to follow than you might think. Once you know which foods are keto-friendly, you don't have to track every calorie or weigh your food constantly. Choosing high-fat, low-carb foods consistently is usually enough. Risks and challenges. Now, of course, no diet is perfect, and keto comes with a few challenges you should be aware of. One of the most common things people experience when they start is what we call the keto flu. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. You might feel a little headachy, tired, maybe even nauseous or gassy during that first week. That's usually your body adjusting to running on fat instead of carbs. The good news is, it's temporary, and there are ways to make it easier. Make sure you drink plenty of water and pay attention to your electrolytes. Potassium, magnesium, and sodium are key because when you cut out a lot of carb-rich foods, you're also reducing some important nutrients. Eating plenty of non-starchy vegetables will help, and if you want, you can even add an electrolyte supplement to your water. Another thing to keep in mind is heart health. Keto can technically allow you to eat a lot of bacon, sausages, and cheese, but that's not the kind of fat we want to rely on. For real long-term benefits, you want to focus more on healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish. And finally, keto isn't for everyone. If you're pregnant, nursing, or have a history of eating disorders, it's probably not the right time to start. Even if you have a family history of heart disease or other chronic conditions, it's worth talking to your doctor before making the leap. The key is to listen to your body, go slow, and get professional guidance if you need it. Safe keto strategies for women. Okay, now let's talk about how to do keto in a way that's really safe and sustainable, especially for women. First, focus on whole foods. That means lots of vegetables, healthy fats, and good sources of protein. Don't worry too much about counting calories every single day. Instead, pay attention to how much fat, protein, and carbs you're eating overall. If you want, you can combine keto with intermittent fasting, which can help some people manage hunger and energy levels, but only if it fits your lifestyle and feels comfortable. Here's a little trick I recommend. Try eating your vegetables first, then your protein, and then your fats. It might sound simple, but it helps with fullness and nutrient absorption. And as you go along, really pay attention to how your body feels. Are you full? Do you have energy? How is your digestion? This feedback is super important because keto isn't one size fits all. Adjust as needed, and don't be afraid to tweak things until you find what works for you. Lifestyle tips and expert advice. Finally, I want to share some lifestyle tips that can make keto feel a lot easier and more enjoyable. Meal prep is a game changer. If you take a couple of hours on the weekend to make egg muffins, chop vegetables, or cook some proteins, the week will feel so much smoother. Try experimenting with new recipes too. Keto doesn't have to be boring. Zucchini noodles, cauliflower rice, stir-fry, omelets, and even keto-friendly desserts can keep your meals exciting. One thing I want you to remember is not to stress about perfection. It's okay if one meal doesn't fit perfectly into your keto plan. Consistency over time is what really matters, not hitting perfect numbers every day. And don't hesitate to get help from a registered dietitian if you have questions or specific health concerns. Having someone guide you can make all the difference. So, there you have it. Keto can be an amazing tool for weight management, energy, and overall health, if done thoughtfully and safely, especially for women. Focus on whole foods, healthy fats, low-carb vegetables, and quality proteins. Listen to your body, adjust as needed, and don't be afraid to seek expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on women's health, nutrition, and healthy habits. And don't forget to leave a comment below with any questions you have about keto or other diets. I'd love to hear from you.